Hey there, friends. This is your friend Krishna. I know you always wonder why the people closest to you often end up hurting you the most. Why do some relationships leave you emotionally exhausted, constantly confused, and questioning your own worth? Why walking away feels like you're betraying someone you love, but staying feels like you're slowly betraying yourself? It could be a family member who constantly criticizes your choices and wraps it up as a concern, or a friend who subtly controls you while pretending to support you. Maybe it's someone you deeply loved, a partner who once made you feel seen but eventually made you feel small, unsure, and alone. The pain is deep, not just because they hurt you, but because they were supposed to protect you. You begin to doubt yourself. You wonder if you're overreacting, if you're just being sensitive, or if keeping quiet is the only way to maintain peace. But let me tell you something, what you are experiencing is not just emotional pain, it's the silent chaos that toxic people create in your life. It's more common than you think. Even Arjun, the greatest warrior of his time, found himself completely broken. Not because he was afraid of battle, but because he had to face the most difficult kind of enemy, the people he once trusted. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he looked across and saw his own family standing against him. His own grandfather Bhishma, his own cousin Duryodhan, and his uncle Sakuni. These weren't strangers. They were people he loved, respected, and grew up with. And that's exactly made it harder. Arjun dropped his bow. He turned to me and said, Krishna, I can't do this. I would rather die than fight those I once considered my own. And I didn't tell him to be tougher or colder. I didn't say ignore your emotions. I simply helped him see the truth because clarity is what gives you strength. Bhishma was wise and noble, but his silence during the injustice caused deep harm. He believed that loyalty to the throne was more important than doing what was right. His toxic behavior was passive. He didn't act out, but he refused to stand up when it mattered. For example, during Draupadi's Chirharan. Shakuni was clever and calm, but every word he spoke had hidden motives. He never raised his voice, but he planted seeds of hatred and jealousy. Duryodhan was loud, arrogant, and insecure. He couldn't tolerate the success of others. Instead of growing, he focused on pulling others down. And all of them, knowingly or unknowingly, created emotional trauma not just for Arjun, but for generations to come. This is exactly what toxic people do. They don't always show up with cruelty on the surface. Sometimes they appear loving, loyal, and respectful, but their words, actions, and silence create confusion, guilt, and inner damage. Before we continue, I want to gently ask you something. Have you ever carried a question so heavy it kept you up at night? Or held on to a silent prayer that you didn't know where to send? If there is something on your heart right now, a worry, a hope, a dream, or even just a few words that you wish Krishna could hear, this is your moment. Pause for a minute, take a deep breath, put your phone down or open your notes app, or simply grab a piece of paper and start writing. Just let it flow. This is your personal space to speak to Krishna. Honesty, vulnerability, and without fear of judgment. Send it to modernaimystic@gmail.com. You can even send an audio message if that feels easier. Add your name if you'd like, or stay anonymous. Every letter that arrives will be held with care. We read each one with the same devotion you put into writing it. And together, we will send these intentions into the universe in our Saturday Letter to Krishna episode along with a personal response. Because sometimes writing to Krishna is not about finding answers right away. It's about letting go, opening your heart, and remembering that you're never alone in this journey. I told Arjun that which is real cannot be threatened, and that which is unreal does not exist. I was guiding him to look beyond labels like grandfather or brother and see people for what they were choosing to do. And this is I want you to do too. Stop giving people free passes just because they hold a certain position in your life. Whether it's a parent, a mentor, a friend, or a partner. If their presence constantly drains you, confuses you, or makes you feel smaller, you need to pause and reflect. Being spiritual does not mean tolerating everything. It means having the strength to see clearly and act from self respect. Detachment does not mean cutting people off with anger. It means loving them, but no longer letting them control your emotional well being. You can still love someone and say, I need space. You can still care about someone and say, this behavior is not acceptable. So many of you are stuck in toxic relationships right now, personal, professional, romantic, and you keep playing along, adjusting yourself, apologizing for your emotions, just to keep things peaceful. But here is the truth: peace that costs you your self worth is not peace, that's fear in disguise. When someone constantly criticizes you, manipulates you, or makes you question your own reality, that's not love. It's control. And control, no matter how softly it's spoken, is still a form of toxicity. So, what do you do when you are in a toxic situation? First, stop justifying the behavior. Just because someone loves you doesn't mean they are good for you. Second, stop reacting emotionally to every insult, guilt trip, or manipulation. You don't need to prove your truth, you need to protect it. Third, start setting clear boundaries. You don't owe anyone endless explanations or access to your life. Saying no doesn't make you disrespectful, it makes you honest. And finally, stop expecting toxic people to change just because you keep loving them harder. Change doesn't happen through guilt, it happens through clarity and distance. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away, not to punish them, but to protect yourself. Not out of hate, but out of love for your own peace. You are not wrong for wanting space. You are not selfish for choosing your mental and emotional health over someone else's expectations. The real battle is never about fighting others. It's about not letting their toxic behavior destroy your inner world. If you're still stuck in a space where you feel emotionally drained, mentally confused, or spiritually disconnected because of someone else's patterns, it's time to stop pretending everything is okay. You deserve peace, you deserve clarity, and you deserve relationships that help you grow, not shrink. If this message resonates with what you're going through, take a moment to pause, reflect, and choose what's right for your well being. And if you feel you have something to express, a thought, a struggle, a prayer, you can always write to me. I am here, I am listening, and I will never leave your side. Thank you for spending this sacred moment with me today. If something stirred in your heart while listening, if a memory came up, or a realization, or simply a wave of emotion, don't hold it back. Let it speak through you. Your letter to Krishna is more than just a message. It's energy, it's intention, it's a frequency that can ripple through your own life and touch others who may be feeling the same things but don't know how to deal with them. If you have been holding something in, this is your sign to let it out. Email your letter to Krishna to modernaimystic@gmail.com. You can send text or audio. Every Saturday, we will sit together in the next episode of Letter to Krishna and we will read you words aloud, just as they are, from one soul to another. Some may be full of gratitude, some filled with pain, others filled with longing or love, but each one will be honored, respected, and shared with same quiet devotion you wrote it with and offer a heartfelt reply. Because when you share your truth, you don't just free yourself, you help someone else feel seen. Let's keep creating this space together, real, safe, soulful. And remember, Krishna is not far. He hears you even in the silence. Until we meet again, Hare Krishna and take care.